Hey, what's going on, guys? Kitsune TCG here, back with another deck profile. Today we are going to be looking at a rather interesting one. This is a Mathmech Dino. Now, when I saw that this was a playable deck, I think it's been around for a little while. I just hadn't ever put much thought or kind of effort into it, but Dinos were the first deck that really got me back into the game, and I have a special place for them, so any chance I can play another version of the deck, definitely going to do it. And this is just something that's a little bit more competitive right now in this format, just because Mathmech is, does have some good plays. You can do a lot with it, so really wanted to give this a go and kind of put together a deck list and thought I'd show it off. Really been enjoying it, the little bit of time I've been playing it. So this is just going to be the Dino portion. You obviously have the one miscellaneous Eris. You'd obviously play more if you could, but right now, since it is still limited, the 3 Oviraptor, 3 Baby. Maybe you could cut a 1 Baby if you want to go to 2. I don't think I would recommend it, though, just because, you really want to make sure that you're getting a certain number of cards in your hand, and sometimes you're not going to see Fossil Dig, so you want to make sure you're maxing out the ones, your combo pieces. 2 Archosaur. This would be something that if obviously you could play at 1, you would want to, but because sometimes you will draw it, as a Dino player, I can definitely tell you, you're gonna see it more than you want to. So you always gotta make sure you have the 1 in deck, otherwise you're obviously not gonna get its effect. The 1 Pterodon, just again another kind of level 2 to pop. The 1 Pinkertops, 1 UCT, and then the 1 Giant Rex. 3 Fossil Dig, 3 Lost World, and another card that, you wish you could run at 1, but just because of how cards are worded, you need to make sure you have one of these in decks in order to pop with the Archosaur. So, do have to play 2, unfortunately. Moving on to the Mathmech portion. This, you just add 3 Circular, 1 Sigma, 1 Diameter, 2 Cynet Mining, just to kind of, in case you don't have the best hand, because you are able to get out the Mathmech engine without ever seeing a Mathmech card, just because, overlaying Oviraptor and Giant Rex, you can go in Alan and add a Mathmech card. If you don't have a Mathmech in hand, you are going to want to add the Circular just because you're going to get another rank 4, but obviously the best play is to already have had it, so you can get the Super Factorial, just because that's going to obviously get you the play on your opponent's turn with Lablation. But, there are kind of a few different ways, and just depends on your hand and things like that. So you don't need to add too much to the deck, and it's just a nice little engine that you can splash in there. Rounding out the deck with some hand traps and other cards, we do have 3 Pot of Prosperity. Now this will be just kind of what brings the deck a little bit more consistency, depending on what you need, what you're looking for, or even just some debate with Ash. Have that in there. The 1 Called By, 1 Terraforming. You do play the 1 Mystic Mine. Same thing with with Pank, just in case you need something to go second. 3 Ash and 3 Imperm. Same kind of thing. Sometimes, if you're going second, or, just something else additionally going first. Hand traps are more impactful this format, so it's definitely okay to run them. Maybe if you want to run a little bit more, you can maybe increase the size of the deck. I wouldn't do that too much, so I'd have to kind of look for maybe areas where I could cut some cards. But I think overall there's not too much I would want to change about this. Looking at the extra deck, we have the 1 Baron. Now, because Sigma and Diameter are both tuners, there sometimes are some plays you can end on Baron itself. Doesn't come up too often, but there are a few different plays where that's possible. The 1 Doka, this can be your main Dino end portion. Just, again, depending on the hand. Your best case scenario, you are ending on a Doka, sometimes an Abyss Dweller if you're going against tier or whatnot. But yeah, then you have the 1 Abyss Dweller, the 1 Jugaras. This is obviously going to be able to go for game, just because UCT, can do maybe 7,000 damage with it doubled, and then you have Pentastag, so depending on, what you got going for you, definitely something that you can put in this extra deck. The 1 Alan and then 1 Lablation. Don't really need more than 1, just because you have the Dino plays to you as well. You're not too worried if that part doesn't go through, so you only really need to run 1, and you are a little bit tight on extra deck space, but Moving on into the links, you have the 1 Link Devotee, the 1 Link Karibo, 1 Pentastag, the 1 Wicked. We have the Link Disciple, 1 IP, 1 Elf. Now this is kind of interesting. I like the inclusion of this just because the babies are level 2. So on your opponent's turn, you can basically just get a bunch of, free pluses. So you can go UCT, pop the baby, get the effect of the baby to summon something, and then you can just go Elf, bring the baby back, so you have it again next turn. You have more like, just another card in defense, whatever you need. Elf is just obviously a broken card. I don't know how long it's going to remain legal, but for as long as it does, you can just keep kind of using it and abusing it. You've got the 1 Unicorn, and then the 1 Access Code, just another way for you to go to for game, again, depending on like what kind of hand you have. The side deck I've been testing out so far this format, I've got the 3 DD Crows. Again, just another thing going, if you know you're going second against here, or even just going first, it's a little bit more impactful than, say, like an Ash Blossom or an Imperm, just because they obviously activate Engrave. 3 Lightning Storm. There are some back row decks, especially with the banning of Red Reboot. I don't think that changes too much, but I think you probably will see a few more people trying out some trap decks. The 3 Dark Ruler. The other 2 Mystic Mine. I think it's, like, if you're going second, you have a lot of field spells in this deck, so you're not too worried about getting stuck underneath your own Mystic Mine. Usually you're going to be able to either set another Mystic Mine or, even put out in a Lost World to kind of go from there. The 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. And then the last 3 cards in the side are going to be the Dimensional Barrier. And this just obviously is going to hit a few of the top decks, so I think that's definitely worthy to include on the side there. But yeah, so overall this is the deck I've kind of been playing around with. Mathmech Dino, it's a very interesting concept, and I think it works pretty well. Definitely been something fun, and let me know if you give it a try, if it's something you've been playing, and how well it works out for you. So yeah, just remember to like and subscribe, and hit me up if there's any other decks you'd like me to go over, anything, you'd like to see down in the comment section below. Thank you.